name is Jolie. I've been an advice and guidance volunteer with Breaking Barriers for 5 years, and I have a background in business and management consulting. I think the first time I became aware of my potential interest to work in the refugee sector was in 2015, when I saw all the news that we all saw about the refugee crisis in Europe. And that coincided with a change in my life where I moved back to the UK, having lived abroad for a long time, and was looking for something different to do. But I also wanted to apply my business knowledge and my international experience. I stumbled across an article by the founder of Breaking Barriers, Matthew Powell, and that was the first time I'd heard of the charity. And I realised at that point that this was the perfect opportunity for me to use my previous skills and experience while making some difference to the refugee situation. Over the past 5 years, I've volunteered under Breaking Barriers employment programme in various capacities. The main one is employment advice, which is one-on-one sessions with clients, helping them through the process of recognising their skills, putting together a CV and applying for jobs ultimately. Then there's sector-specific volunteering, where I'm asked to use my specific background sector experience to help with a particular case. There's also the Foundations programme, where we run a course one-on-one again for clients to learn about specific skills for example, writing a CV, preparing a job application, or doing a job interview. And the final and recent new course that I'm helping teach is the Digital Skills programme, which is helping clients either who have basic digital skills or maybe medium digital skills to move to the next level with their ability to use a laptop or another digital device. The highlights of being a volunteer at Breaking Barriers there are a few, but the obvious ones are when a client gets a job or gets a place on a course, a degree course, for example. But there are other highlights as well that I hadn't really anticipated. For example, when a client demonstrates that they are using the skills that we've been coaching them to develop. For example, they go away and they make a good quality job application based on the process that we've been teaching them in our one-to-one sessions. I'm always very proud to see that, and it's a real highlight when a client writes a cover letter independently or writes a new version of their CV by themselves. My hopes for the refugees that we support are that they find meaningful employment. That's our primary objective as a charity. That they also become financially independent. But I think the main thing is that they feel welcome and well integrated into society in the UK. I had one particularly interesting client last year who had been an accountant in his home country. But when I began speaking to him, I could see that he hadn't really enjoyed being an accountant, and he wasn't quite sure why he had gone into accountancy in the first place. But what came out of our discussion was that he had actually demonstrated some very good skills as a lawyer. He had in fact represented a friend in court who'd been accused of a crime he hadn't committed in his home country. And my client had learned he had a real fascination with law, had done a lot of reading, and had successfully represented a friend in his home country in court. So we talked about, well, why don't you try training to be a lawyer in the UK? And he wasn't sure he could because of his age. Surely he had to be an accountant because that's what he'd always done. But I encouraged him to understand that it's okay to switch career. Whatever age you're at, it's still worth trying to see if you can start retraining. So in the end, he did decide to try and retrain to be a lawyer in the UK. If you're thinking of volunteering at Breaking Barriers, I would say just do it. Apart from the sense of purpose it gives you, and it's great to feel that you are helping people in need. What I found is you just meet some fantastic people, both the staff at Breaking Barriers and the clients we help. I've met people I never thought I'd meet, from fascinating backgrounds with great experience. And you learn so much. I've really expanded my own knowledge of the world, the complex issues we face, and the experiences that people from other countries have. I recommend it highly.